Morning students, welcome to the class. In last class we have discussed about sex determination in different animals. In today's class, as per your syllabus, let us move to next concept which is there in your textbook, that is mutation. So here in biology, the term mutation refers to a common definition which is given in all textbooks, that is sudden change, sudden and heritable changes. Sudden and heritable changes are called mutation. Okay, we can understand here there are two terms, sudden change and the change is heritable and which can be transmitted to next generation. Such changes are called as mutations. So these mutations can take place at the level of genes, or there is a changes in the base sequence of the DNA takes place. Those changes can be carried, can be transmitted to the next generation. Therefore, so these changes are called as mutations. But these changes cannot be visualized. They can take place suddenly and they can be transmitted to next generations. And one more thing is, you know that very well, there is a variations takes place, that is because of several other reasons like recombinations. And along with this recombination is, which we have already studied, which is responsible for variations in DNA. Along with this recombinations, even mutation is also responsible for variations at the level of genes or in DNA. Okay, so it means this recombination brings changes in DNA, and along with that mutation is also responsible for bringing variations. Now, so these mutations, we can study mutations at different levels in our textbook. In different lessons we will get this mutation. Now as per this, now we have to understand basically different types of mutations. Different types of mutations you have to understand. Here mutations mainly are of two different types. One is called as chromosomal mutations. Chromosomal mutations. Chromosomal mutations, and another one is called as gene mutation. Gene mutation or gene mutations. Gene mutation. So these gene mutation is also called as a point mutation. Point mutation. So this is a basic concept. Simple things. Mutation is nothing but a sudden change. Just I told you, sudden change, that change can be inherited to the next generation. Here chromosomal mutation means changes takes place at the level of a chromosome is called as a chromosomal mutation. So these chromosomal mutations are due to either addition of a chromosome, deletion of a part of a chromosome, or inversion. So there is a interchange of a genes takes place. So like this, because of the changes, okay, in the chromosomes, mutation takes place, and these are called chromosomal aberrations. This is also called as chromosomal aberrations. Chromosomal aberrations. Chromosomal mutations are also called as chromosomal aberrations. So this mutation is mainly because of the changes in the chromosome. So now say for example, here chromosome, this chromosome is present. This chromosome has genes, capital A, B, C, D, E genes are present. So now this is a normal chromosome, and in case of the chromosome which has undergone mutation in which capital A, B, C, D genes are present, this E gene is missing here. So there is a loss of a genes takes place, loss of part of chromosome takes place. So therefore in this way what happens, changes in the chromosomes takes place. So this is a loss, or otherwise In another way, we can say that sometimes what happens, chromosome may gain some of the genes instead of this A, B, C, D, E, F. So there is addition. Now this is another type of a chromosomal aberration. Okay, so here loss of a part of a chromosome takes place, here part of the chromosome is added, or sometimes what happens, some of the part of the chromosome gets inverted. Instead of A there is a B, A, D, C, E. So now this is normal chromosome, this is abnormal one, here inversion takes place here. So instead of part of the chromosome gets inverted. So this is also another kind of a chromosomal mutation. So in this way what happens, suddenly this kind of mutations takes place at the level of chromosome is called as a chromosomal mutations. Now you can understand this. But another type of mutation is called as a gene mutation. Okay, now in this mutation what happens, chromosomal shape, chromosomal size remains the same, but changes takes place only at the level of a gene. Therefore that mutation is called as a gene mutation or point mutation, and by this mutation it causes abnormalities in an individual. Suppose in this chromosome, if genes, all the genes, okay, capital A, small b, c, small d, so now here mutation takes place at the level of a gene, capital D. So here the genes mutation takes place at the level of one particular gene, and this mutation is called as a gene mutation or point mutation, and which causes a diseases, and those diseases are called as diseases caused due to gene disorders. Okay, here for example sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a disease which is caused because of the changes at the level of a particular gene. Okay, or the gene has become absent, or gene has become recessive, because of that this disease causes. So like this, these are all different types of mutations. So this is what you should understand. Students, let us understand next interesting concept, that is pedigree analysis. Pedigree analysis. So here pedigree analysis, what is this pedigree analysis? Where this pedigree analysis is done, that is what you have to understand. Before that, you should understand what is the meaning of this pedigree analysis. Analysis of traits. Analysis of traits. Analysis of traits of generations of a family. Of generations of a family is called pedigree analysis. Analysis of traits of generations of family. There are two words with which we can understand, or otherwise you can better understand this pedigree analysis. Analysis of particular traits, I can explain, this is there in the textbook, but little bit if you move forward you can still better understand the definition. Just I can tell you, suppose if there are some unique characteristics which are present in a plant or in an animal, then we can collect that plant or we can collect that animal, and we can breed that plant, or we can cross that plant or animal with another plant or animal which we want. But in case of a human being, how can we cross, how can we mate the human beings which we like? It's not possible, because human being is a thinking animal, will have a self-consciousness, living in the society. So therefore it is not possible for the human being to preserve, or we can arrest, we can keep them in the laboratory conditions. So therefore carefully we have to go on studying some unique characteristics, unique genetic characteristics which are present in the human being. So I hope you have understood the inner meaning of studying this pedigree analysis. So here to know that, to analyze the unique characteristics, unique genetic characteristics which are present in a human being and how it gets inherited to the next generation in particular family. So that is what we have to understand through a process, through a analysis, that is nothing but a pedigree analysis. So this can be done, you can understand now, this can be done only in human being. This pedigree analysis can be done only in human being only. So to study this pedigree analysis in human being, how to understand that we can bring to their notice, or sometimes it is not possible to bring to their notice. Without bringing them to their notice also we can study this pedigree analysis. So to study this pedigree analysis, pedigree is a very important tool to study human genetics. And to study this pedigree analysis we can use certain standard symbols. Certain standard symbols we can use to study the pedigree analysis. So now let's understand what are those standard symbols which we can study in pedigree analysis. Now let us see some of the important symbols, standard symbols which we can use in analysis of pedigree chart. Now this symbol, when it is used, it is a male, just male. I have written here normal male to understand better. Similarly, suppose if a circle is used, so this is a normal female, and if this symbol is used, we don't know the sex of an individual or sex unspecified. Suppose in this square, circle, or in this structure, if you darken it, then we can understand that these are all affected individuals. Now this is affected male, this is affected female, and this is affected individual with unknown sex. And if you write 5 inside this, so that 5 unaffected offspring. And now between this male symbol and female symbol, if marriage link, marriage bond is written, so that this is a marriage between male and female. And suppose if 2 lines are drawn between these 2 symbols, then it is nothing but a consanguineous mating or marriage within the relationship. And in this symbol we can understand, so these are parents and these are children, and parents above and children below. And in this you can understand that one male child is affected by a disease. So like this, these are all various symbols which we can use in pedigree analysis. So if you go on writing this in this way, if you write it, suppose if the affected individual is present at every generation, then that is nothing but a dominant one. That is a dominant one. Suppose here male individual, so this is a marriage, and here affected individual, the male individual is suffering from a disease, and next they have got a children, and this is female, this is male, and this is male, and this is female. Here male is affected, and next again in the next generation. So in this way, so this female is affected. In this, what is happening here? Now this is what we call it is a first generation, second generation, this is third generation. In all the generations, okay, the individuals have got the disease. Therefore now this is what we call it is a dominant one. Suppose if there is a skipping of a particular generation, then it is nothing but a recessive, and which is X-linked. In this way we can understand about the inheritance of a pedigree through this pedigree chart. Or what we can understand here with this analysis, we can understand about the transmission of a specific genetic characteristic from generation to generation in human being in a particular family, that we can understand through this pedigree chart. Students, Now let us understand about next concept, that is genetic disorders. Genetic disorders. Now, what is the meaning of this genetic disorder, or what are genetic disorders? Disorders are nothing but there is a something problem which is not present in the correct order in the body. Individual is suffering from some disease, but those diseases which can be passed from generation to generation are called as genetic disorders or genetic diseases. So these genetic diseases, you can understand, we are now able to treat every diseases with advancement in science, discovery of different types of antibiotics. We are able to treat different types of diseases, but these genetic diseases, they cannot be cured, they cannot be treated, because there is a problem in the genes or in the chromosomes. So based on that, genetic disorders can be classified into different types. Okay, there are different types of genetic disorders. Types of genetic disorders. What are the different types of genetic disorders? So mainly they are classified into two different types. First one is called as a gene disorder. Gene disorder, which is also called as a Mendelian disorder. Mendelian disorder. Gene disorder, and another one is called as a, or it is also called as a Mendelian disorder. Next one is called as a chromosomal disorder. Another one is called as a chromosomal disorders. Chromosomal disorders. So these are the two major types of genetic disorders or genetic diseases. Now you can understand here, gene disorders are also called as Mendelian disorders. What is the meaning of this gene disorder? What are these gene disorders? How do you define this gene disorders? Okay, here for example, in a chromosome, just I told you repeatedly, now a chromosome, normal chromosome is present, and genes must be present in a dominant condition so that they can produce protein, and gene will be expressed. Suppose in a gene, particular gene, if alteration takes place, alteration or mutation takes place, alteration or mutation of a single gene, mutation of a single gene. So now I have shown here particular single gene. Just change or alteration or mutations takes place at a single gene. So that alteration or the gene which has undergone mutation, which can follow the laws of Mendel, which can follow laws of Mendel in the pattern of inheritance, and such disorders are called as gene disorders or genetic diseases or Mendelian disorders. So that what happens here, there is a change in the single gene takes place. Single gene has undergone some change, mutation. So that can inherit to the next generation, which follows the laws of a Mendel. Therefore, it is nothing but a Mendelian disorder. Okay, here gene disorder means you can understand that here changes takes place at the level of a gene, and that gene which has undergone change, which can inherit to the next generation, okay, in which follows Mendelian principle. Therefore, it is nothing but a Mendelian disorder or gene disorder. So now let us understand what are the different types of a gene disorders. Types of gene disorders. Types of gene disorders. Okay, there are so many diseases which are caused due to changes at the level of a single gene. But as per your syllabus, you have to understand some of the gene disorders. I think you might have heard about the word that is called as hemophilia. Hemophilia is one of the disease, genetic disease, which is transmitted from parents to next generation or parents to progeny. So hemophilia is one of the disease. Next one is called as cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a disease. Next another one is called as sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. Next another one is called as thalassemia, and another one is called as a color blindness. So these are all some of the important disorders caused due to mutation at the level of genes. So these are all we have to study one by one. So these diseases are because of changes or alteration of a particular gene. And on the other hand, next diseases are called as chromosomal disorders. These are because of changes in a part of a chromosome or whole chromosome or whole set of a chromosome changes takes place. Because of that, individual gets a disease, and those diseases are called as chromosomal disorders. So here you have to understand the two important terms. There are different terms to describe these disorders, so you can understand. One is called as aneuploidy, as per your syllabus. Ploidy, aneuploidy. Here ploidy is nothing but a number of sets of chromosomes. Here aneuploidy is nothing but there is a addition or deletion of one or two chromosomes from normal diploid set is called as aneuploidy. Addition or deletion of one or two chromosomes from normal diploid set. Generally, in a diploid organism, chromosomes are present in pairs. Now, these pair of chromosomes are called as homologous chromosomes. All the chromosomes, now this is first pair, similarly second pair, third, fourth, fifth, 21st pair, and 22nd pair, and 23rd pair, which is what we call it as a sex chromosome. These chromosomes are called as sex chromosomes. Now this is 22nd set. Say I can tell you like this. Another one is 21st set. In this way. Okay. So these are chromosomes. Pairs of chromosomes. Always chromosomes are present in pairs. Suppose for a particular pair, if there is any addition of a chromosome takes place, instead of 2, the chromosomes have become 3 here at a particular 21st set. Now there is an addition of a chromosome takes place here to only 21st pair. Therefore, here in this way, if there is a change in this 1 or 2 chromosomes, either increase or decrease, addition or deletion of a chromosome takes place, 1 or 2 chromosomes addition or deletion takes place, this is what we call it as aneuploidy. Okay. Another one is polyploidy. In case of polyploidy, addition or deletion of a whole sets of a chromosomes takes place, which is what we call it as a polyploidy. Okay. In this way, these are the terms which we can use to explain this chromosomal disorders. Now suppose if there is addition of a chromosome, in case of aneuploidy, if there is addition of a chromosome, this is what we call it as a trisomy. Okay, trisomy. Where this chromosome is added, trisomy. Generally 2 chromosomes are present. If 1 chromosome is added, then it becomes trisomy. So to which particular set it is added? So now it is added to the 21st set. How many chromosomes are added? 1 chromosome is added. Therefore, this can be represented as 21 plus 1. So in this way, this is very common. Why I am using only 21 instead of 1? Because 20 for the 21st set, or addition of a chromosome to the 21st set is a common feature which is studied in genetics. So therefore, I have taken this. Or instead of addition of a chromosome, there is a chance of deletion of a chromosome also. Then this is what we call it as a monosomy. If there is a loss of a chromosome, then it is called as a monosomy. In this way, we can use certain terminologies to explain addition or deletion of a chromosomes to the normal diploid chromosomes. So when this aneuploidy and polyploidy takes place, okay, then chromosomal number will be changed. This changes in chromosome number which causes a disorders, they are called as chromosomal disorders. This, because of this addition or deletion of chromosomes, certain disorders, individual suffers from certain disorders. Now you should understand what are those chromosomal disorders, types of chromosomal disorders. Types of chromosomal disorders. What are the different types of chromosomal disorders as per your syllabus you have to study? First one is called as Down syndrome. Down syndrome. Down syndrome is one of the chromosomal disorder which let us discuss these in detail little after this. And another one is called as Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome. And the next one is called as Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome. So as per your syllabus, still there are so many. As per your syllabus, you have to study. These are all different types of chromosomal disorders. Now let us understand all these diseases one by one, starting from this hemophilia. So now let us understand about gene disorders or Mendelian disorders. Just I have given you a definition for gene disorders or Mendelian disorders, in which let us understand about hemophilia. Hemophilia. By seeing the term itself we can understand hemo, which is related to the blood. Okay, it is a blood related disease. Now what is hemophilia? Sometimes you may get a question for 1 mark. What is hemophilia? How do you define hemophilia? Hemophilia can be defined by different people in different way, but you should define as per your text only. It is sex-linked recessive gene disorder. Sex-linked, here you can understand the different terms. Recessive gene disorder. Okay, transmitted from, it is transmitted. Now I am writing here transmit. It is transmitted from unaffected carrier, unaffected carrier female or carrier mother to some of her male progeny. So this is the definition which we have to give at the time of examination if the question asked what is hemophilia. Now you can identify, I have underlined here sentences. Sex-linked recessive gene disorder transmitted from unaffected carrier female or carrier mother to some of her male progeny. Now so many students will not understand what is the meaning of this sex-linked. Here we can understand that we have got different types of chromosomes. 22 pairs of chromosomes are called as autosomes, and XX or XY are called as sex chromosomes or allosomes. So these are called as allosomes and these are called as autosomes. So now male and female is determined based on the sex chromosomes only. Genes which are present on the sex chromosome can control sexual characteristics. Genes which are present on the autosomes can control somatic characteristics or body characteristics. But here thing is, some of the genes which are present on these sex chromosomes, genes present on the sex chromosome can control the somatic characteristics. So that somatic characteristics are linked with the sex chromosomes, and therefore such genes are called as sex-linked genes. I think now you have followed what I explained here. Genes, somatic characteristics are linked to the sex chromosome. Therefore they are called as sex-linked genes, and inheritance is called as sex-linked inheritance. Okay, that gene which is present on the sex chromosome or X chromosome has become recessive. So therefore it is nothing but a sex-linked recessive gene. Okay, and that is transmitted from unaffected carrier female. Female is unaffected and it is transmitted to some of our male progeny only. So therefore such a disease is called as, you can understand still some of the meanings you should follow here in this definition. Okay, now what is the cause? Cause, clearly you have to say cause. Why I am writing like this? Because in the examination they may ask for 1 mark, write the cause for hemophilia. So this cause is because of a single protein a single protein that is part of cascade of proteins, group of proteins. Cascade of proteins means group of proteins involved in the clotting of blood is affected. Involved in the clotting of blood. In the clotting of blood is affected. In the clotting of blood is affected. Okay, due to this, so now you have to understand this term, single protein that is part of cascade of proteins involved in the clotting of blood is affected. It means during the clotting of a blood, you have already studied in first PUC regarding mechanism of blood clotting. Okay, suppose if there is a small wound on the body, immediately what happens, oozing of blood takes place, and this oozing of blood will be stopped within few seconds because clot formation takes place, or scum, brownish scum is formed on the surface, so that oozing of blood will be stopped. That is what we call it as a clotting of blood. So for clotting of blood, it requires different number of proteins. Nearly 13 different proteins are required in the clotting of blood. So therefore this set of proteins, group of proteins which are involved in the process of blood clotting is called as a cascade of proteins. Among these group of proteins or cascade of proteins, one protein, a single protein is affected. It is affected. Okay, or it is not formed. It means what here? A gene present on the X chromosome which controls or which is involved in the synthesis of a protein. These proteins which are responsible for clotting of a blood. But if this gene has become recessive, then this protein will not be formed. If this protein does not form, next proteins will not be produced. So that clotting of blood is delayed, or clotting of blood will not take place. And even for a small injury, even for a small cut in the body, continuous or non-stop bleeding takes place. Non-stop bleeding occurs even for a small cut. So this is the main cause for this hemophilia. Now what you can understand, this hemophilia is a disease where because of the absence of a protein, why the protein is absent? That is because of the gene has become recessive on the X chromosome. Okay, because of that clotting of blood is delayed clotting. Okay, and continuous or non-stop bleeding takes place even for a small cut is called as hemophilia. Now, so this hemophilia disease, generally what happens here, female is generally carrier only. Generally females are carrier for this hemophilia only. And if female becomes hemophilic, it is very rare here. Female hemophilic is rare. So this is very important term. This you have to understand regarding all competitive examinations like CET and NEET. Why female becomes hemophilic? It is quite rare because this gene, just as I told you, this gene is present only on the X chromosome. Gene responsible for clotting of blood is located on X chromosome. Female has got 2 X chromosomes. Female has got 2 X chromosomes. Okay. Suppose if the gene become recessive on one chromosome and one more chromosome dominant gene is present, so therefore she becomes a carrier for the disease and she will not be affected. Okay. So when this X chromosome is passed to her male progeny, male children, male will get X chromosome from the mother only. Then male will have only one X chromosome, so that he becomes affected. So therefore, female to become hemophilic, at least her mother must be carrier. Mother must be carrier. Must be carrier for the gene. Mother must be carrier for the gene, and father should be hemophilic. Father should be hemophilic. Then only so female becomes hemophilic. Otherwise female just she will be carrier for the disease. So in this way we can explain regarding this hemophilia. And this hemophilia is better studied in the family pedigree of Queen Victoria. In the family pedigree of Queen Victoria, so this hemophilia is better studied. Okay. Let us understand one more genetic disease or gene disorder, that is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. So you can understand little bit detail. Looking very simple, but the concept if you go to deep, so you have to follow certain inner meanings. Sickle cell anemia. So what is the sickle cell anemia? Suppose if the question appeared in the examination, so it is autosomal linked recessive. It is an autosomal linked recessive disorder. So now you can understand the term here. But in case of hemophilia, that is a sex chromosomal linked, sex linked disorder, it is autosomal linked. So you know that very well, there are 22 chromosomes or autosomes, and one pair of chromosomes are called sex chromosomes. Autosomes are common for both male and female. It means this defective gene is responsible for sickle cell anemia is located on the autosomes, not on the sex chromosomes. Okay, therefore it is nothing but autosomal linked recessive disorder or trait transmitted from parents to offsprings. Transmitted from parents to offsprings. Transmitted from parents to offsprings. Parents to offsprings, when both the parents are carrier for the gene. This is what you should understand. When both the parents are carrier for the gene. Carrier for the gene. Both the parents are carrier for the gene. So it means you can understand here autosomal disorder, and it is transmitted definitely from parents to offspring. So but here both the parents are carrier. They must be present in the heterozygous condition, it means. Okay, so this is what sickle cell anemia. Okay, here this sickle cell anemia is mainly caused due to, it is controlled by single pair of allele. Disorder is controlled by single pair of allele. Single pair of allele, that is HBA, single pair of allele, that is HBA and HBS. So what is the meaning of this HBA and HBS? Now these are the alleles. So you know that very well, like Mendelian pattern, capital T, and another one is a small t. So in this way. Okay, here HBA is a normal gene, normal allele. HBA is a normal allele and HBS is mutant allele. Okay, so the possible genotypes, 3 possible genotypes are HBA, HBA, and another one is HBA, HBS, and the next another one is called as HBS, HBS. So these are the combination of alleles or possible genotypes. So these are the 3 possible genotypes. Now this is homozygous normal, this is heterozygous condition, this is homozygous for the mutant gene. Okay, so when the person becomes hemophilic when this condition is present, person becomes hemophilic when this condition is present. Okay, so in this way these are the genes, possible combination of genes which can cause this sickle cell anemia. This you have to understand. When this gene is present, when this condition of genes, homozygous recessive genes are present. Now these are homozygous recessive genes which are present. Then this, now let us understand, this normal gene is present. This normal gene is responsible for the production of a normal protein. But when this is present, it produces abnormal protein in the hemoglobin. Okay, now what is the cause, main cause for the disease? Cause is, in case of hemoglobin, you know that very well, hemoglobin is made up of 2 polypeptide chains. One is called as alpha chain and another one is called as a beta chain. Hemoglobin is made up of 2 polypeptide chains, alpha chain and beta chain. This alpha chain, these are proteins which are made up of amino acids, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So like these amino acids are present. Similarly in beta chain also, okay, different amino acids are present. Different amino acids are present. So particularly in beta chain, okay, there is a sequence of amino acids, a definite sequence of amino acids are present. Okay, so here in beta chain, at 6th position in normal hemoglobin, glutamic acid must be present. Glutamic acid. So this is the amino acid which must be present at the 6th position of the beta chain. So this hemoglobin is produced when this normal gene is present, HBA gene is present. This kind of hemoglobin is produced. This is nothing but a normal. Okay. So here what happens when this gene, instead of this gene undergoes a mutation. Okay, in the 6th position, now what happens here? So here, this is alpha chain, this is beta chain. In beta chain, 6th position, instead of this glutamic acid, valine will be present. Valine is present. So now what happens here? In beta chain, 6th amino acid must be glutamic acid. So this glutamic acid is replaced by valine. Okay, that is because of the recessive gene present on the chromosomes. Okay, so when this valine is present, valine replaces the glutamic acid. Then under low oxygen tension, what happens here? Okay, spherical shaped RBC is changed into sickle-like structure. Okay, this shape of the RBC changes only under low oxygen tension and it appears like a sickle shape, and a cell has become sickle shape. Therefore, it is nothing but a sickle cell, and the individual becomes weak. Therefore, it is nothing but anemia. Therefore, the disease is known as sickle cell anemia. Children, we have discussed about a few genetic disorders. So remaining genetic disorders and some important questions from the point of examination we'll discuss in the next class.